Office of the President has confirmed receiving a petition by some concerned staff of the Electoral Commission of Ghana against the chairperson of the commission, Madam Charlotte Osei. The staff are demanding a full-scale investigation into a number of issues that they believe constitute grounds for her impeachment. We will be speaking to Director of Communication at the Presidency. But first, here is a report that captures key parts of the petition.
The 29-point petition covers a wide range of issues as regards the operations at the Electoral Commission. It is signed by lawyer Maxwell Opoku-Agyeman on behalf of his client, the concerned staff of the Electoral Commission. He will not deny or confirm to us anything on this petition, but goes on to say that he would only speak if his clients give him the go-ahead and if they receive a response from the presidency on the matter. It's a 6-page document and they raised 29 issues against Madam Charlotte Osei. On the STL and Dream Oval contract, the group refers to a contract signed by the Commission with STL on the premise that the voters' registration exercise was going to be electoral-based. Upon assumption of office, the chairperson, Charlotte Osei, according to the petition, unilaterally abrogated the contract without recourse to the Commission, not even her deputies. She then single-handedly renegotiated the contract to the tune of almost $22 million without recourse to the Public Procurement Act. On this score, the group claims that the contract was overpriced and could have been negotiated further down if members of the Commission were involved. And that's because they claim that a change in the 2016 voters registration process required an automatic reduction in the contract sum. Still on contracts, they accuse her of directing the payment of $76,000 to an IT firm, Dream Oval, without any contract. At point 18 of their petition, they say she consistently directed the payments. It then suggests that this had been done a number of times, but it's unclear how many times, adding that this contravenes the Financial Administration Act. Point 27 questions the rebranding and new logo of the Commission. This petition states that the chairperson unilaterally awarded a contract of about $25 to a South African company, Quasar Limited, to change and redevelop the Commission's logo under the guise of rebranding without going through tender. Again, contrary to the Public Procurement Act. The petitioners are also unhappy about the EC's engagement with lawyer Thaddeus Sori, who has acted as lawyer for the Commission for some time now. The petitioners claim that Charlotte Osei, without recourse to the Commission, engaged the services of lawyer Sori at law. They say as at now, there is no formal contractual agreement between the Commission and the solicitors. Plus, the basis of fees computation for services rendered by these lawyers still remain unknown.
So those are highlights of that petition that they have filed to the presidency, wanting to impeach Madam Charlotte Osei. We'll be speaking to the Director of Communications at the Flagstaff House. But joining us is Joseph Akablay. Today visited the EC headquarters to assess the situation at the office. He reports that work is ongoing and the workers don't seem to be aware of attempt of some of their colleagues to get the EC chair out.
So I'm some few meters away from the Electoral Commission's headquarters. Now this is the second time the Electoral Commission has been in the news for the bad reasons quite recently. The first one has to do with the fact that the Economic and Organized Crime Office was investigating some top officials at the Commission, with this time being the fact that some individuals working here at the Commission have petitioned the presidency asking for the removal of the Electoral Commission chairperson. Now I came essentially to gauge the mood to find out whether these workers that are clearly agitated about the activities of the EC chair will be at post and whether it has affected business at the office of the Commission. Interestingly, I've been to most of the departments, the communication department among others, but work is on as usual. The civil servants manning the various offices are still at post. I tried engaging the Director of Communication, but he tells me he doesn't have clearance from the Commission chair to speak on the matter yet. But what is interesting to note again is the fact that some of the workers here at the Commission's headquarters don't seem to have an idea of the individuals leading this charge, the individuals who have gone ahead to, through a council, petition the presidency asking for the removal of the chairperson. So work is on as usual here at the office of the Commission. Reporting for Joy News, my name is Joseph Akablay.
Joseph Akablay with that report. We've also been engaging private legal practitioner Samson Ladia Inene on what processes are set in motion once such a petition is presented. He makes it clear that the petitioners have a long way to go.
Right, that you are unable to get any of the parties involved to speak. You remember that when I led a similar petition that led to the removal of the strike boss, you never got to hear of the content of the petition until everything was over. And even when it was over, you never saw the petition or the content of it out in the media. That is the rule and that is the law. So it is unprofessional and it is wrong. It's actually in breach of the law to give out the content of the petition into the media. And the Supreme Court held so long ago, and recently in the Justice Berry versus Anas matters, the Supreme Court reaffirmed that decision, that it is so wrong to do so. But let's put that aside. The procedure is quite simple, that to be an Electoral Commission chairperson, you ought to have been a lawyer for at least 12 years standing at the bar and of good reputation. Now, that clearly places you at the same level of a justice of the Superior Court, and I'm referring to the Court of Appeal. And so the law says, because you are of the status of the justice of the Court of Appeal, the terms and conditions of your service are the same as the justice of the Court of Appeal. How is a justice of the Court of Appeal removed or disciplined when they have misconducted themselves? And that's where Article 146 clearly states that when there is stated misbehavior or misconduct, or that there is confirmation of infirmity of body or mind on the part of that person, you take a petition to the President. The President will forward the petition to the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice will do what we call a prima facie determination. That is to say, there is a case to be answered. Right after that, the law said the Chief Justice should set up a committee of 5. The 5 will be constituted by 3 justices of the Superior Court and then 2 other persons who must not be lawyers, who must not be members of Parliament or belong to the Council of State. They will be appointed by the Council of State. But the Superior Court judges, the 3 of them, have to be appointed by the Judicial Council. Now, they will go through the process. You will file your response, and when the process is finished, they will file their report back to the Chief Justice, and the Chief Justice will submit to the President. And the final decision, which is binding, the President has no option in this. He has no discretion. If the committee's recommendation is that they have found the person guilty, they will go ahead. The President has to go ahead and issue the order of dismissal or letter of dismissal. It's that simple.
All right. Well, we can get to the presidency now and speak to Director of Communications, Eugene Ahin. Sir, thank you very much for your time here on the show.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now, can you tell us exactly when this petition was received at the presidency?
Let me say good afternoon to your viewers and your listeners. I think about 30 minutes ago, sometime around 2:50 p.m., the Secretary to the President received the petition from the group who are seeking the current chairperson, the chair of the Electoral Commission, Madam Charlotte Osei. So this happened around 2:50 p.m.
So we have some information about the kind of information upon which they are petitioning the presidency, and it boils down to financial impropriety. Can you confirm this?
No, I can't confirm this. All that I can confirm is the petition has been received, and probably definitely by the end of the day, it will definitely be given to the President of the Republic for him also to take a look at it. As to the finer details of the petition, I'm not in a position to confirm or deny the contents of the petition, because I've not really apprised myself really of it.
So what should we as Ghanaians expect? Of course, everybody is concerned, and everybody has an interest in this particular matter coming from the EC. What should Ghanaians expect from the presidency after receipt of this petition?
Oh, definitely after the receipt of the petition, I'm sure if whatever be the case, the President will definitely pass on this petition to the appropriate quarters for a determination of the matter to be made. I don't think it's up to him to pass judgment, but at the end of the day, in accordance with the rules and regulations or the laws of the country, then whatever is required of him to do upon the receipt of such a petition, I'm sure he will do it. So I'm sure, hopefully very soon, we should have a logical conclusion of this matter as quickly as possible. So I'll just urge all Ghanaians to exercise restraint, whatever the president has to do in terms of ensuring that the relevant quarters or the appropriate authorities deal with the petition to the satisfaction of all the proponents involved in this matter. I'm sure it will be done. So whatever be the case, we just urge the Ghanaian populace to exercise restraint. Whatever be the case, the matter will be duly dealt with.
Well, talking about the matter getting the due attention, how was it received at the presidency? Did it come to the presidency as a shock?
Well, I can't say it came to the presidency.
I mean, that's not fine details. I understand that you can't share the fine details, but this is very, if you would indulge me, it's information that's rather on the lighter side, isn't it? Easier to share.
Oh, well, I don't think we can say it came to anybody as a shock. I'm sure we have been hearing, I think it was, the news was broken, I think, either last night or early this morning about the petition. So it didn't really come to us as a shock because we had heard of this petition being brought to the presidency. So we just received it as it's something we had been told was coming. So it didn't honestly come to us as a surprise. It did not.
It did not. So you're saying that you heard from it the first time from the media?
Yes, and once we heard, and definitely the people who had signed it made it clear that we were going to bring a copy of it to the president.
Okay, so you had the information before you heard from it. You heard about it in the media as well?
No, I'm saying we heard about it in the media that they were going to bring this petition. They were going to forward a copy of this petition to the presidency. So it's coming to us today, this afternoon, was not a surprise because we had already heard in the media that this was the situation which was going to happen, at least in the course of today. So we receiving it today, honestly, was not a surprise to us.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to the timelines within which we should expect some responses from the presidency. But we'll say a very big thanks to you, sir, for your time here on the show.
Thank you very much.
Eugene Ahin is Director of Communications at the Flagstaff House. You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty Andopia. I'm going to take a very quick break, but when I return, we'll look at the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. Well, it may be some 3 years away. 3 years is really not so far. We'll tell you how much steam it is picking up, especially when some group within the party are accusing former President Mahama of violating party structures for going on that nationwide tour. They believe that he is campaigning ahead of time. Please stay with us.